Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. So, reading from Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita, Uniting Two Worlds, chapter entitled At Home in Vrindavan. Such a sweet name, At Home in Vrindavan, that in itself feels so homely and proper sweetness. For weeks, Srila Prabhupada had been taking a commercially prepared food supplement, Complan, but now he refused it. What is the use of artificial food, he said, when there is natural? You Westerners like the taste of canned, frozen, preserved, rotten food. You eat and then keep the leftovers for 7 months, and this you like. And you like drinking cold milk. This Complan is not fresh. I shall try to live on milk and fruit juice, nothing artificial. Everything about Prabhupada is so sublime. Whenever he chastises also, it's so sweet, so nectarian, and obviously he's the complete embodiment of all inspiration. Srila Prabhupada's plan was to stay in Bombay and wait for the grand opening of the temple, now scheduled for Ram Vijay Dashmi in 5 weeks. But he didn't expect to get much stronger. Although he had spoken in favor of fresh foods, he was actually taking nothing more than a little fruit juice and a little moong jal, water in which moong beans have been soaked. Srila Prabhupada began chanting constantly on his japa beads, which he insisted on keeping around his neck at all times. During his massage, he would finger the beads and silently chant, and even while resting, they remained around his neck. When Tamal Krishna asked Srila Prabhupada how he felt, he simply replied, crisis. After a few days, he named a certain Bombay doctor and suggested that he be brought in. But Tamal Krishna gave arguments as to why calling in yet another doctor would but Tamal Krishna gave arguments as to why calling in yet another doctor would not be good at this time. Srila Prabhupada listened and agreed. Tamal Krishna said he felt confident that Srila Prabhupada would live to see the temple opening in Bombay and later go on to Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada seemed very relieved by these words and rubbed Tamal Krishna's head affectionately, saying, "May your words be blessed. Bless me that I may fix up my mind." His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Reading from Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवतीयुतमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. So we continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, Text 12. Chapter entitled, The Residents of Jambu Dvipa Offer Prayers. Again, like in this month of Kartik Damodar Ashtakam, we sing daily, and throughout daily songs and prayers. And Bhagavatam teaches us this, the symptom of someone whose heart is kind, whose heart is soft or gentle, offering prayer. So Bhagavatam teaches us how to actually offer prayer, what sort of prayer, and how do we really offer that prayer. And this is all the prayers by the blessings of the Lordships, by the blessings of the assembled Vaishnavas. This is the prayer that somehow we could understand the glorification of the divine couple. Somehow we could understand the glorification of Shishi Khorantai Mayapur Sashi and Vaishnavas, that our heart becomes a bit soft and we could recite those prayers or understand and live by those prayers. So text 12. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana सर्वे गुणस्तत्र समासते सुरा हरो अभक्तस्य कुतो महद्गुणा मनोरथेनास्ति धावतो वहि यस्यस्ते भक्तिर्भगवती अकिंचन सर्वे गुणे तत्र समासते सुर हरो अभक्तस्य कुतो महद्गुणा मनोरथेनास्ति धावतो वहि यस्यस्ते भक्तिर्भगवती अकिंचन सर्वैर्गुणैस्तत्र समासते सुर हरौ अभक्तस्य कुतो महद्गुणा मनोरथेनास्ति धावतो वहि Yasyasti bhaktir yakinchana sarve gunestatra samasate sura harava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorathena dhavato vahi.
Yasyasti
Bhaktir Bhagavati Yakinchana Sarve Gunas Tatre Samasati Sura Rava Bhaktasya Kuto Mahatguna Manorathena Dhavato Bahi. We go into word meanings. Yasya, of whom. Asti, there is. Bhakti, devotional service. Bhagavati, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Akinchana, without any motive. Sarve, with all. Gune, good qualities. Tatra, there in that person. Samasate, reside. Sura, all the demigods. Harav, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Abhaktasya, of a person who is not devoted. Kuta, where. Mahadguna, good qualities. Manorathena, by mental speculation. Asati, in the temporary material world. Dhavata, who is running. Bahi, outside. Translation. All the demigods and the exalted qualities, such as religion, knowledge, and renunciation, become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even if he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga or the honest endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives, he must be driven by his own mental speculations and must engage in the service of the Lord's external energy. How can there be any good qualities in such a man? Please respond. All the demigods and the exalted qualities, such as religion, knowledge, and renunciation, become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even if he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga or the honest endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives, he must be driven by his own mental speculations and must engage in the service of the Lord's external energy. How can there be any good qualities in such a man? Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As explained in the next verse, Krishna is the original source of all living entities. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 15.7, wherein Krishna says, Mamai Vamso Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manasastrani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karsati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. All living entities are part and parcel of Krishna, and therefore, when they revive their original Krishna consciousness, they possess all the good qualities of Krishna in a small quantity. When one engages himself in the nine processes of devotional service, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam, one's heart becomes purified and he immediately understands his relationship with Krishna. He then revives his original quality of Krishna consciousness. In the Adi Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 8, there is a description of some of the qualities of devotees. For example, Shri Pandit Haridas is described as being very well behaved, tolerant, peaceful, magnanimous, and grave. In addition, he spoke very sweetly. His endeavors were very pleasing. He was always patient. He respected everyone. He always worked hard for everyone's benefit. His mind was free of duplicity and he was completely devoid of all malicious activities. These are all originally qualities of Krishna, and when one becomes a devotee, they automatically become manifest. Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, says that all good qualities become manifest in the body of a Vaishnava. That only by the presence of these good qualities can one distinguish a Vaishnava from a non Vaishnava. Krishnadas Kaviraj lists the following six good qualities of a Vaishnava. 1. He is very kind to everyone. 2. He does not make anyone his enemy. 3. He is truthful. 4. He is equal to everyone. 5. No one can find any fault in him. 6. He is magnanimous. 7. He is mild. 8. He is always clean. 9. He is without possessions. 10. He works for everyone's benefit. 11. He is very peaceful. 12. He is always surrendered to one's benefit. He is always surrendered to Krishna. 13. He has no material desires. 14. He is very meek. 15. He is steady. 16. He controls his senses. 17. He does not eat more than is required. 18. He is not influenced by the Lord's illusory energy. 19. He offers respect to everyone. 20. He does not desire any respect for himself. 21. He is very grave. 22. He is merciful. 23. He is friendly. 24. He is poetic. 25. He is expert. 26. He is silent. रागविद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीरधारी कृपाम्बुदीर्यतमहं प्रपद्ये मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Offering prayers at the feet of the assembled Vaishnavas and praying for your blessings and mercy. Hopefully understand the message of Srimad Bhagavatam and glorify the Vaishnavas and lordships. In the in the verse itself, in the Sanskrit, in the verse, um, there's this word akinchana, beautiful word. And personally, I find this very beautiful. This word akinchana, and the whole of Krishna consciousness is very paradoxical. And the charm of Krishna consciousness lies in its paradox. If we understand the paradox or say the mystery of Krishna consciousness, then Krishna becomes even more charming and even more mysterious. And there's beauty. With Krishna, everything, whatever we say with Krishna, there's beauty associated. There's sweetness associated by default. Krishna is the embodiment of all sweetness, all beauty. So mystery or charm, mystery or adventure or thrill, there is that element of sweetness and beauty by default associated to it. So, uh, ever heard like income tax or HMRC coming to a person's shop or a house and doing some income tax inspection or sort of raid? And normally, what does it happen when HMRC income tax people come with the intention for raiding a person's house? They come and what do the general questions or what we understand, what they ask for and go through and see.
Ask for the account book. Ask to see the accounts.
As for the account books, they would pretty much go through everything. They would like, depends if it's a proper rate, they would go and ask account for every brick and stone in the house. Account books and items, possessions, and they would want to check the legitimacy of it. Is it genuine? Is it legitimate? Is it fair? The source, how did you procure it? How did you get it? When, where, how did you obtain it and all? Does it belong to you or not? Is it your property or is it government's property or is it someone else's property which has been taken by unfair means, which you have acquired by unfair means and all? Shikhorantai Mayapur Sashiki. So if the person, if he has everything like in proper place, bills and whatever needed and shows, okay, yeah, then HMRC will back off. Okay, fine, legitimate, genuine and fair, everything kind of is yours and they will leave the person. So this quality, akinchana, as it says in the word meanings, without any motive, akinchana. So the external energy of Krishna's will also back off or won't, they surely will check us, but then back off if we see that, okay, he is this person who is completely akinchana. He is this person whose every existence, whose every items in his bank account, in his house, whatever it is, he is completely fixed up that it is Krishna's. It belongs to Krishna. And there is this paradox. In societal world, we see we are so attached and we want to hold on to. Why we think, okay, this is something which will give us peace of mind and give us a sense of security. This is something which is required and this will bring satisfaction and all. But Akinchana is someone who completely identifies himself with the Lord, who knows that Krishna is the real processor. And coming to that state of consciousness, a devotee who lives by that consciousness, then he is completely secured. He's completely peaceful, he's completely free, he's completely carefree. And if we try to actually possess and think and own that, okay, this belongs to me, then there's that problem. huge problem. So really we all want to live carefree. And the formula for living carefree is if we understand becoming a kinchana, if we understand who actually it belongs to. And then when we live by that consciousness, then the lordships will use us because they understand, yes, certain qualities, certain aspects are required. Krishna chose Arjuna for a reason. He used him as an instrument for a reason and everything. So it is on our part, that effort, that understanding, that willingness, if we show, even if it is not in action, but if we pray and desire, oh Krishna, please, I would like to become a Kinchana. Then Krishna will use us and then he will shower and all the good qualities of knowledge, renunciation, and religion. Everything will get transmitted, everything will come about. And this is where Bhagavad Gita teaches us to practice pure devotional service. Because pure devotional service, um, it is at the platform of akinchana from this platform, not like mixed devotional service. In mixed devotional service, there is not that quality of akinchana, and Krishna doesn't really like that. Krishna, this is Mahaprabhu's mission, and Mahaprabhu really relishes when he sees his devotees. They are so completely identify themselves with Krishna. These are the Hare Krishnas. Uh, like there's this commonly like if we go to someone's house, say, and a person may ask similar on those lines, okay, this book table, whose is it? So a devotee in his genuine consciousness, not in theory. Theory is also good, but theory is not good enough. So, not just in theory, but a devotee like replying, a person replying, oh, this is Krishna's table, this is Krishna's chair, this is Krishna's living room, this is Krishna's telly, this is Krishna's laptop and computer. Whose altar is this? This is Krishna's altar. Whose kitchen, whose car, whose job, whose bank balance, everything, this is Krishna's. Okay, everything is Krishna's. And what about you? You, I am also Krishna's. And what about Krishna? Deities, Krishna is mine. Rest everything is Krishna. So ourselves as well, if we understand, yes, I have an existence and my existence belongs to Krishna. My body, heart, mind, soul, everything belongs to Krishna. So, when we offer ourselves like this to Krishna, while chanting the holy names of Krishna, while reading, hearing, engaging ourselves in services, in our studies or jobs or everything, when we first offer ourselves and then we take any initiative, then it is all sublime or Krishna conscious because we have already offered ourselves. This is why Prabhupada teaches us throughout in his classes that the first thing is surrender. The first thing is surrender. If we do not surrender ourselves, then we wouldn't understand the ways of working of Krishna. And if we surrender ourselves, then we will understand the ways of working of Krishna, and then all these good qualities Krishna will shower and bless upon us and use us for his divine will. We take lots of initiative. We want to take initiative, yes, to please the lordships. Where we daily pray or offer this prayer, right? Our Lordship Shishi Ghoranitaya Mayapur Sashi, bless us so that the Scottish Yatra may flourish and worldwide Yatra may flourish. And in that prayer, if we first offer ourselves, then whatever initiative we do, then everything is like for Krishna's only. So first thing is to offer ourselves, and this is where Krishna says, like in this shloka, Manorathena asti dhavato bahi. In the conversation between Krishna and Arjun, we understand chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita, one entire chapter is dedicated on mind control. One entire chapter, 47 verses in that chapter. And Arjuna says that Chanchalam hi mana Krishna, my mind is so flickering, obstinate, it is very difficult to control. I can control the wind, but not my mind, and so on, and with all genuineness. And Krishna understands and agrees. And in that purport, Prabhupada gives such a beautiful graphical presentation of our situation that someone like the soul, the Manorathina, chariot of the mind, and this is how we are being dictated by the mind and senses. So imagine if we take a Uber for going from Glasgow, Karuna Bhavan to Glasgow. We hire Uber, okay, and the Uber comes. Fine. First, the car we see, okay, the car is all right. Car looks good. It's not like a broken car. We take the seat in the car, and if we discover, if we understand that the driver is a bit tipsy, is a bit high, or is under the influence of alcohol, then that would not really make our ride very smooth or something. And if we understand that the steering wheel is not fine, instead of going right, it goes actually left or a bit here and there. So we might well be seated in a BMW car. hmm, But if the driver is a bit out of order, or the uh, the steering wheel is a bit out of order, then the ride will be a proper roller coaster ride. Proper roller coaster ride, up and down, up and down, up and down. And in this, okay, the best, okay, let me put the seat belt in. Let me put my seat belt in. Okay, fine, that will give us some cushion, some safety and all. But yet, if the driver is under the influence of intoxication or in a frustrated mood or whatever, and if the steering wheel isn't working fine, the seat belt isn't going to come much for the rescue, and we throughout will be in anxiety up and down. So Prabhupada mentions, and the Shastras mention, for our complete well-being, that we are traveling, we all are passengers in this life. And look at the irony when we meet someone in, say, train station and all. See, oh, B49, that's my seat. Wait, let me check the ticket. No, that's my seat. That's my seat. Okay, fine. And then we'll settle down. Okay, that's free. You take this and all. Maybe the ticket checker gave us this seat. Fine, we all are passengers anyway. It's a short journey, 2 hours to London. And what is the first? We sit here and move on. So, but thing is, at that point in time, we settle ourselves, and it's a good understanding to carry. But we struggle to hold on to it. We struggle to live by it. That is the problem. Why? Because perhaps not so akinchana. Perhaps not so akinchana. So the driver being the intelligence. If the intelligence is corrupt, the soul being the passenger in the front seat or back seat, wherever, if the intelligence is corrupt, won't be having a good ride. And the mind being the steering wheel, giving directions, or this taking directions from the intelligence, and mm, uh, taking through in our journey. If the mind is also not rightly situated, not taking us to our destination, not rightly situated, again the journey will be a long ride full of ups and downs. The body parts, if they are not fine, senses, the car parts, if they are not fine, we won't feel fine. And uh, this is where mixed devotional service is like having that seat belt. Okay, I practice yoga, I practice a bit of spirituality in my life and all, and that is like the seat belt giving us some cushion from the ups and downs in life. Okay, but we have to transcend a bit, go beyond, and completely become akinchana. Understand that um, I belong to Krishna, understanding our identity. And whatever we take on board in our life, it will be very peaceful. And we have to do lots and lots of work. There's lots of engagement for us. But if we understand, this is where we clear the mind or the head first, then whatever we put into it will be very fruitful or saturating or satisfying. I'll just, and time flies like anything. I'll just end with this what Murli Prabhu was saying yesterday, and Prana Prabhu in Govardhan Leela as well. So Kartik Math, Govardhan Leela, see, the Brajvasis, they were more than a Kinchan. They were more than just surrendered to Krishna. So, in nutshell, we see when there was calamity, huge calamity, everyone were calling out to Krishna, and they listened to the call of Krishna, and they all, without hesitation, went into the took under the shelter of Govardhan Hill, and Krishna lifted that Govardhan Hill, and even though Shamantaka clouds, the devastation clouds, they were coming up, but the Sudarshan Chakra, it wasn't letting anything happen. So, likewise, if we take proper shelter of Krishna, then we will always feel peace, protected, and all, rather than being driven a power by mind. So, Krishna says, after dedicating one full chapter on mind control, Krishna tells to Arjun, he understands our position, he tells to Arjun throughout that become attached to me, give your mind to me through our mind, and then you will know, because the problem is in the mind. So if we give our mind to Krishna, then everything will be coming in a smooth zone or a smooth platform. And this prayer by Kunti Mahari, again there are other prayers, Vitrasura's prayers as well. He also speaks of Akinchana. He tells to Indra that, come on, raise your thunderbolt and hit me, kill me. And you are after sense enjoyment, material gratification, post, position and all. But I know our Supreme Lord, someone who is Akinchana, then Krishna, he would free himself from dharma, arth, kam, moksha, and give his real prem, real mercy. So he's inciting Indra. Okay, Indra, come on, lift your thunderbolt. And Kunti Maharani prays, Janma Aishwarya Shruta Sribhir, Edamana Madapuman, Neva Arhati Abhidhatum Vai, Tvam Akinchana Gochara. So Krishna is very difficult, Gochara. He's very difficult. He's impossible to be captured by the senses and all, but by one who is Akinchana. So now Krishna consciousness doesn't say Janma, Aishwarya, Shruti, Sribhir. They are good, having birth in a good family, Janma, Aishwarya, some opulence, some good learning, some good health, and having, say, even there's no harm in having money or something. Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shribhir, learned, and all these things, qualities. But the only problem Kunti Maharani is saying, Edamana Mada Puman, Mada. Having all these qualities, one becomes intoxicated, pride. Edamana Mada Puman, Puman, all living beings, when they have these qualities, and if they become pride of it, then there is the problem. So likewise for us, there is education, no problem, business, no problem, anything. But if we understand one who is Akinchana, yet having these qualities, he can really get the mercy of Krishna. And he won't be dictated then by the external energy of Krishna. Otherwise, if we do not, real life or spiritual life begins when we understand the difference between matter and spirit, or body and soul. And this is why, without understanding this, we'll get dictated by the Lord's external energy. But when we understand spirit and actually live spiritual life, and living spiritual life doesn't mean, okay, I pay my taxes duly, I take my recycling out on every time, I clean my garden is fresh and all, and on Christmas time I feed the poor as well, and I use less of WhatsApp and all, so I'm a spiritual. No, that doesn't really mean spiritual life. Again, like religion is all over the place as well, and likewise anything, oh yeah, he's very spiritual, he's very spiritual. Someone by nature he's quite quiet, oh yeah, he seems to be a spiritual person. Okay, on this note, I'll give you please any question or comment, please.
When you were describing the example of the different elements of the body and how they relate to the car or the chariot. So when you were talking about the person's to put aside the mistake on their tickets, is that referring to like if pure intelligence there. It's that intelligence that we like, don't allow ourselves to be disturbed by temporary faults. Is that, are you comparing that to the intelligence?
Yes, in the sense, when we are in a journey in train, say from Glasgow to London, I don't know, 5, 6 hours, whatever, still we understand it's not that long a journey or short journey. And it's fine, okay, by some would have happened, some printing mistake or whatever. I will sit in B49 and you sit in C49 and sort of thing and all. So they understand life is too short. Why put it in quarrelsome or something? We tolerate, we adjust, and we can all peacefully reach our destination. So, in the thing I was trying to understand for myself is that when I'm in a train, I can adjust like this easy in a bus coach or say living in ashram as well and all. Okay, fine, I'm in ashram for 2 weeks. I will just be okay with it. I won't make any fuss or something. I'm here to practice, learn, and all. But this setting, it has to be more broadened and it has to go very deep in our consciousness. So when we truly understand, then whatever, well, in the grand scheme of things, meaning in Brahmaji's one day, what does it matter sitting in B49 or C49? Huh? Oh, I get the bunk bed in ashram, top bunk bed. I don't like top bunk bed. I like the one. What does it? How in the grand scheme of things? This is why when cleaning a room, big things are easy to be taken out. Job done, 5, 10 minutes. It's just a small nitty gritty. Here, there, here, there, here, there. And practicing devotional service, we should be even more cautious and all. And this is the mercy of Mahaprabhu. How much awake we are, that much mercy we can experience. So that was the thing, Prabhu.
It seems very black and white in the translation. It's either exalted qualities and unalloyed devotion, and then there's instant external energy, and there can't be any good qualities in such a way. So that's like one end of the spectrum to the other. So it must be a gradation from having no good qualities to having all good qualities. Somebody must be in between.
Yes. So thank you, bro. Brilliant. See, this is what Bhagavatam does. From having no good qualities, in one verse, it gives us the highest, all good qualities, one thing. This is why devotees, when they say, oh, or Prabhupada says, or devotees say, just read one paragraph. If someone reads one paragraph, one verse, one purport, or one sentence, or just looking into, because everything from no good qualities, this is Bhagavatam, from no good qualities, say, to the topmost all good qualities. And how could be transformed in this very life itself? It is possible, it is doable. They are acharyas, devotees, current and previous, who have transcended and left the boat for us. So yes, Prabhu. And were you saying something else, Prabhu? Or
Yeah, I was just wondering, because it's one extreme to the other. So most of us are not at either end, now we're in the middle. We've got some good qualities, and we're trying to get free of some of our bad qualities, so we're going to make a way of work in progress. I suppose it's showing this as the goal and this is the lowest.
Bhagavatam comes a beautiful verse in 3:7-17, I think. Yascha muda tamo loke, yascha bude param gata. Tau bhau. So, the only two persons who are completely happy in this world. One who is a transcendentalist, and another who is in gross ignorance, ultimate gross ignorance, who is completely lazy and crazy and mad, complete gross ignorance. And in between, they are getting the pangs of material miseries, left, right, and all. So in this change is very difficult. Change is very resistance. We all are resistant to change. So yeah, we understand we have got some heavily. We are in betweeners or in between, and this is where association helps a lot. That encouragement and inspiration, which helps us to carry on forward and carry on forward. And we see. I mean, definitely. We may not be in the fast track lane. To be in the fast track lane in practicing devotional service, one has to be in akinchana mood. So one may not be in the fast track lane of devotional service, but surely he is very blessed. He is very ahead. To be in the vicinity of devotees, to be in the midst of devotees, to not even someone may not be chanting, but if he's seeing devotees chant the holy names of Krishna, is in a way ahead, way ahead. Father Prabhu saying so.
And this idea, this idea of getting all good qualities as a result of unalloyed devotion. Now, how much do we have to endeavour for these qualities ourselves? Because something like to have unalloyed devotion requires that we devotees. There's ways to get to unalloyed devotion. We have to make our own endeavour to cultivate these qualities. So in some sense, how much do we just focus on the devotion and then forget about our personal development? And so that the development comes as a secondary thing, and how much we put the development, at the forefront.
Good question. So how much is how much? How much is good enough? Well, it's difficult to say. Is 64 rounds good enough? Is 128 rounds good enough? Is 256 rounds good enough? How much is how much can we say is good enough, sort of? So and it's very difficult to quantify as such. Mahaprabhu's mission is Kirtanya Sadahari, and Krishna says Sarva Dharman Parityaja, abandon all varieties of religion, abandon all varieties of dharma. So and that is the basic minimum standard, say, from surrendering that platform. So whatever we do it nicely, following rules and regulations, and gradually build up, coming to a point wherein we are through thoroughly searched. Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami teaches us, right, that the Nam Rupa Charitadi. So whatever we have got, we should every moment and all 24 hours try to engage in devotional service. And then Bhagavatam will free us from self-obsession to Krishna obsession. Because currently I may be practicing devotional service, attended morning program, everything and all, and then daytime in the ashram, oh, look at me, these thoughts and all, this is what I'm thinking. What's the point of living with devotees and all? I'm still having these thoughts, desires, and I'm actually working like that. Look, I told wrong, look, this, that, and all. So we have a problem, right? We get stuck, we get really stuck and all. So analysis is good, but too much of analysis leads to paralysis. So we need to understand how much is how much or too much. So analysis is good, self introspection and all, but and we pray. This is why the prayers acharyas teach us, Krishna, I'm completely naked, I'm completely bankrupt, I'm completely lost, and I've been trying but still I'm lost. Kindly bless me, Krishna, kindly bless me. So our endeavor is only to attract that mercy. It's not that by our endeavor we could actually do something. No. This is where then Krishna leaves. Okay, fine, you think your endeavor is good enough for you? Fine, carry on with your endeavor. But we have to invoke, the endeavor is only to invoke the mercy of Krishna. So does that answer your wish? ग्रंथ राज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की जय। शिला प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि बोल।